Have you ever felt deep down in your soul as if your life was designed for something greater? As if there were a silent, insistent call, even in the midst of everyday struggles? Let me tell you something that perhaps no one has had the courage to say until now. This is not a coincidence. It is a direct summons from heaven. You are about to discover that there is a detailed and powerful heavenly plan that bears your name. And the time to activate it is now. While the world screams that only those who exhaust themselves from working so much win, there is a higher path. A path of faith, prayer, and alignment with divine purpose. Here, prosperity is not achieved with excessive sweat, but is received as a living promise, as an activated inheritance. Yes, this journey is real. And it begins the moment you choose to remain until the end of this message. Yes, until the final prayer, because that is where the miracle begins to manifest itself. Get ready, because you're about to discover how to become a true millionaire, not just in your pocket but in your soul, spirit, and the legacy you will leave on this earth. Do you want to know how to open the doors of this heavenly outpouring? So stay here with me, because this could be the most important decision of your life. True prosperity is not the result of desperate effort. It is the fruit of alignment with divine purpose. When you stand in faith, what was stuck begins to move. What seemed far away approaches. And what was impossible becomes part of your daily life. Yes, work has its value. God honors effort but not anxiety. There is a big difference between acting in desperation and acting with conviction in what was promised. Those who work in peace, aligned with heaven, yield more, tire less, and prosper with ease. Harvest is a consequence of purpose. Maybe you feel like you carry something different in your chest. A restlessness that doesn't let you settle down. It doesn't matter if they try to convince you otherwise. There is a greater force in motion, pushing you towards the extraordinary. When everything seems confusing, remember this: you were set apart for a plan that does not fail. Every challenge, every fall, every tear, it was all part of the preparation. What comes now is harvest, acceleration, and transformation. And look, if you got here, it wasn't by chance. This word is a seed being sown in your heart, and it will blossom if you decide to stay until the end. Do you know why? Because the plan that heaven wrote for you is not limited to survival. It is a plan for multiplication, advancement, transshipment. You were born for more, much more. But you need to wake up. True prosperity is not the result of desperate effort. It is the fruit of alignment with divine purpose. When you stand in faith, what was stuck begins to move. What seemed far away approaches. And what was impossible becomes part of your daily life. Have you ever noticed how everything changes when the first thing you do in the day is give thanks? It's no coincidence. Gratitude activates the frequency of abundance. When you honor God with your trust, He responds with open doors. But be careful. Stay with me until the end, because the prayer we will say together will open invisible paths. The type of connection that transforms realities. There is a misconception that many carry, believing that only those who suffer a lot have the right to victory. But no, God doesn't need your exhaustion to bless you. He needs your faith, your willingness to trust even without understanding, your decision not to give up halfway. Yes, effort is important, but there is a huge difference between acting out of fear and acting with conviction. When you move in prayer, your actions are directed, your steps are firm, and heaven collaborates with each seed you plant. The harvest becomes abundant and light. It's not about stopping acting. It's about acting with direction, with prayer, with discernment. No more running without knowing where. No more forcing closed doors. Today is the day to align your spirit with the divine will and declare, I am ready to live everything that was written for me. And if everything seems stuck in your life, listen carefully. The scenario that challenges you today will be the stage for your victory. The preparation hurts, but the purpose is worth it. God did not bring you here to abandon you. This word is the reminder. Hang in there. The miracle is closer than it seems. You were designed to make a difference, to thrive with meaning, to generate fruits that feed generations. Being a millionaire in faith means understanding that money is a tool, not a trophy. It's a means, not an end. The focus is legacy. It's impact. It's a mission. And when you understand this, something changes. Prosperity starts chasing you. Connections emerge. Ideas flow. Opportunities present themselves. Because heaven releases resources into the hands of those who want to share. You are here because God trusts you to be a channel of abundance. Examples? Joseph was rejected, sold, wronged, and became governor. Esther was an orphan and became a queen. Ruth started over from scratch and was honored by God. These are not pretty stories, they are codes from heaven. And now it's your turn to experience something like this. But to do this, you need to declare with faith that you accept the call. You know that feeling that you are different, that there is something special in store for your life? Well, this is more than just a feeling. It is the calling of being a chosen. God does not make mistakes or distribute blessings haphazardly. He looked at you, saw your heart, and decided it was time for you to live the divine abundance which is already written in your sacred plane. The life of chosen, it's not always a bed of roses, right? Many times we face heavy struggles, doubts, and even that famous question, "Why me, Lord?" But that's where the secret lies. Every battle is actually a sign that God is preparing you for a transformation gigantic, where blessings they will come in portions you never imagined. This is just the beginning of a great legacy to come. If you are reading these words today, it is because God has placed a spiritual post-it in your path. It wasn't a coincidence, it was a summons. The sacred plane has already begun to unfold, and you have been set apart to live not just the spiritual and financial wealth, but also to be a channel of prosperity in the world. Ready to dive into this purpose without looking back? If there's one thing we need to understand once and for all, it's that prosperity, it doesn't just come from grinding until you lose your breath. When God makes a promise of wealth, my friend, it is a decree signed in heaven and stamped in eternity. Yours divine abundance, it is already released, ready to invade your life like a river in flood, bringing not only money but peace, security, and real freedom. When you align your faith with the sacred plane, you enter a flow where the impossible becomes everyday. Doors open, opportunities appear, and the multiplication happens in the blink of an eye. That prayer is powerful. It activates connection and activates divine abundance in your life. Now take a deep breath and prepare your heart, because the time for prayer has arrived. God of all provision and power, I stand before you in this moment with an open heart and listening ears. I recognize that I am not here by chance but by summons. Something within me pulses for change, for advancement, for a new time, and I understand that that time begins now. Forgive, Lord, the moments when I doubted my worth, when I let fear paralyze me, when I disbelieved the promises. Today I connect with my purpose. Today I activate, with faith, every word that heaven has already released upon my life. I reject the spirit of scarcity, fear, comparison, and limitation. I declare that I am a channel of your abundance. May my thoughts be aligned with your plan. May my decisions be directed by your wisdom. May my home be fertile land for blessings that never end. Lord, guide my steps. Open the right doors. Close what does not glorify you. Multiply resources, gifts, connections, and opportunities. May I see the impossible become routine. May miracles be my new normal. May my life glorify your name through each victory. And above all, teach me to remain humble, grateful, aware that everything comes from you. May I be generous with what I receive. May I transform what I achieve into a legacy, into love, into real transformation for the world. I now activate the sacred plan written for me. I accept the inheritance. I declare that the time of scarcity is over, and that the era of multiplication begins at this moment. In the name of the God who fulfills promises. Amen. Now tell me, will you just watch life pass you by, or will you rise up and claim your destiny as the chosen one? The decision is in your hands, and the whole sky is ready to support you. Attention, if this message spoke to you, don't leave now. Click the subscribe button, activate the bell, and leave your comment with the words, "Plan activated." This isn't just a video, it's the beginning of a journey. A cycle has ended and a new one is starting now. Share with those who need a change in their lives. And remember this, the world is waiting for the impact only you can make.